Have you found yourself gravitating towards one color this spring or maybe two? I didn't realize that I had, but I definitely am. And today's video is all about the color I'm really using a lot. My name is Sandra and I'm the owner here at Midwest Charm. We specialize in all of your repurposed, upcycled, vintage, home decor, furniture, and all of your DIY needs. You can find our website linked below, www.midwestcharm.co. We carry DIY paint, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, Iron Orchid Designs, Roy Cycled Treasures, Connie Lines Designs, and more. You can find all that there, as well as all of our social medias linked below. And you can get a hold of us on any of those should you see something you like and it's not on the website yet. Stay tuned to the very end to see these projects finished because they're beautiful. And again, I'm obsessed with this color for spring and I didn't think I would be. So hang out to the end and let me know what you think. Let's get started with today's project. Project number 1. If y'all follow Connie, the painted photographer, she posted a beautiful set of pottery jars she found, I believe, on Amazon, and then made some for herself. And I have been obsessing over these jars ever since. And so I thought, well, today I am going to try to recreate them in my own spin. So I am taking crinoline, and yes, that is the color I'm talking about, you guys. This is just a beautiful, creamy, gorgeous off-white color. I'm totally obsessed with it for spring. It just really makes all your pastels pop, and I don't know. Anyways, each of these jars is going to get 2 good coats of this crinoline paint. I'm letting it dry thoroughly so it's not pulling anything off. Then I'm going to go ahead and seal it up with Big Top, which I did not get on video. But after they are sealed up, I went through my Rose Botanical Transfer. You all know this is absolutely, positively one of my favorites. I use it all the time because you can get so many projects out of this. One of these days when I open a brand new one, I will count, or maybe I'll go through the back and count exactly how many florals are in this. But the thing is these florals can also be cut up and made into smaller ones and pieced together. Y'all, this transfer is to die for. I love it. So I picked out 3 smaller roses. I did not measure this one before I popped it on there. You'll see with the next 2 that I do. And yes, this is a 3-jar set. If you watched my haul, I will try to link it below the haul from when me and my, oh no, it wouldn't have been when we went on vacation. But I had a haul video where I actually found 2 of these sets. They came with a little chicken wire basket for the 3 and like separators. So they all sit in there really nice. I'm just making notes so I know what to attach below, y'all. Anyways, we found 2 sets of these. So I decided to keep one as is because they do sell really well for us. And I decided to go ahead and make over this one. Oh, I'm so tempted to grab that other set now because you guys, this is so pretty and I kind of want one for in my home. And I'm not even like, I don't know, I don't typically do this type of stuff in my house personally because, you know, teenagers, pets. Anyways, you see me, once I get it all transferred on there, I do take that top layer and rub it all on because you want to make sure you're getting all those little air bubbles out. You do not want to have any of those in there because when you seal them up, they can come pop off or break. So I measured this one. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down onto my jar. You guys, I'm sorry I'm out of screen. I start out in screen and then I just move and I apologize. Each transfer from Iron Orchid Designs comes with that little stick I have in my hand. And you use that, you peel off the back, you place it down like I did. You use that to rub it all on. What you're not seeing in this clip, or maybe you are, I don't know. I went around all the curved spots first. So that top of that jar is curved. So I went ahead and any of the pieces that stuck to that area, I place down first. That way you minimize the amount of wrinkles that you're going to get in your transfer from placing it on a curved surface. Then I go back through and just pick a corner and start rubbing down and peeling back that transfer paper. Y'all, if you ever pull up that transfer paper, the plastic there, the vellum, and a piece of the transfer is still on there, just lay it right back down and rub it a little bit more, and it should apply perfectly. If it doesn't, there's tricks and tips to get around that, like rubbing from the other angle from a different corner and peeling it off that way, and using a little bit of your top coat to apply it down. Works just fine. And here I am measuring this one, cutting off the excess. I am going to peel off that backer and stick this on. And there you see me rubbing down the top parts on the curved area first. And then I'm going to go do that other little bud on the other side. I do the bottom because the bottom is also curved. And then I just pick a side corner and start rubbing and peeling back. These will get, like I said, a top coat again of Big Top to seal that all in, but I'm not quite done, y'all. And I don't remember if I show it or not. In Connie's, she used a paint mixture to go ahead and make it look like it was really old pottery, kind of. I don't want to say rusty because pottery's not rusty, but aged and beautiful. I, however, did not do that. I went ahead and sealed these all up, let my Big Top dry completely, and then I did go in with dark wax along the bottom and the top rims. And you'll see that at the very end of this video, you'll see my final projects. And it added just enough age on there. Oh, I am totally in love with these. And I don't know if I'm going to put sprigs in these or what I'm going to put in these to display them, but I think just even as they are, they're spectacular. What do you guys think of this project? Have you done these? Do you plan to make anything like this? They're so pretty. And I'm sure you could do this with any colors. I've done painted jars before, but nothing like this set or to make them look like pottery. And crinoline really did do that job. It made it look like almost like the crock color. And DIY paint, you guys, this went on so good. That first coat I was actually really, really impressed with. It went on really good. I got really good coverage. I did, however, still do 2 coats just because I wanted to make sure there was no light going through it anywhere. And then I think I may have done like, I don't want to, we call it a half coat. Like I flipped it over and just really made sure to get around the rim because, you know, there's all those little sharp angles in there and I wanted to make sure there was paint in all of it. I can't wait for y'all to see this. All right, you ready for project 2? It's actually like 2, 3, and 4. In our last haul, I believe, my hubby found these 2 cutting boards. They were a fantastic color, and I had thought about doing some milk paint on them to make them all chippy, but I decided to just go with a distressed look instead. And you can see me just kind of putting haphazardly, I can't even say that word today. It's Friday and I'm tired, y'all. Just kind of putting it on with no rhyme or reason. I let that first coat dry and then I'm going to go in with a second coat pretty much right over it. And if you leave your little edge pieces with only 1 coat and then that top coat it looks distressed and great. And I did go over both of these with sand with one of my finger sanders as well. And then sealed it up after I smoothed everything out with a coat of Big Top. This one had like a little ding in the middle of it, and I made sure to accentuate that. So what you didn't see here was this piece. And if you all saw my short, I just picked up this wood piece. It was $1. It had some string on it. I cut that off, and what we think this piece is, and I've had 2 people say it, and I am pretty certain that's what it is. It was the centerpiece of like a wood chime that would hang down and then make everything, make the beautiful tinkling sound wind chimes make. So I think that's what this is. But I just went ahead and painted it and then just distressed it really good with that crinoline paint. And then obviously I sealed it up. I should have done this next step before sealing it, and I didn't think, but it's okay. It's okay. It worked out just fine. I just was originally going to do just transfers, and then I was like, nope, this needs a little bit more than just transfers. I wanted to show you guys 3 different backgrounds that I love to use with my Iron Orchid Designs stamps. If you guys don't have these are must-haves in your stash. You've got to have them. I use them all the time. Now, let that top coat dry. And while I'm letting it dry, I realized I haven't inked my gray ink pad in probably about a year. And gray ink, when you apply it to your stamps, this is stone gray. You don't ever see it, so you can never tell exactly how much you're putting on there. Once I get the ink on, I'm just kind of using the tip without squeezing it and just kind of rubbing it all into the pad. When I store my ink pads, I also store them with the pad side down, so that clear top down, so all the ink sits on the top of the pad and doesn't soak in. That seems to help it ink up. Here we have, this is like ephemeral text or something like that. I will link all the items I use below. And this one is going to go on this rectangular one. I really wanted to have like the journal lines down there pop through, and I ended up covering them up, and I'm a little bummed I didn't shift this around a little bit. I've never taken any of these parts off and used them singly. I leave them all on there. I ink up a good amount right around where I'm going to use it, and then just push down to put it all on there with just in the painted part of this board. So I'm going to hold it with one hand and then just use my fingers to apply some pressure on the rest of the pieces and then peel it back. And that light, the stone gray, is just a beautiful light background color. You don't need to distress it. It looks beautiful. I do go in, I wiped off a little bit of ink that got up there. You probably wouldn't have even noticed it, but I did. I clean off my stamps right away. I usually use a baby wipe and make sure to get all of that ink off, and then I go ahead and store that back. And then we're going to let these dry. This one we are using, oh my gosh, my brain just froze. I will link this below. But this one, it was probably one of my first stamps I ever bought. I think it was my second stamp I ever bought. I bought the animal one first, I think. And the script on this is just beautiful. And again, it makes a perfect background. I hold with one hand while I use my fingers to rub down all of the text, and then peel back. And look, you guys, again, I'm going to clean my stamps off. And then the last little wood piece we are going to be using, I believe, I'll link it below. Vintage Textures, I believe, is what this one is. I'm just using the one piece, but I do use all of these all the time. And I'm just inking this whole little square. And then when I push down, I'm just pushing certain parts. I'm not holding the whole thing down. I'm just giving it random crackle all over this piece. Just enough. I don't want too much. I do the ones that I'm trying to show you. You can see it when I look in the camera, but I'm like right here. So hopefully y'all can see the beautiful little crackle on there. And it's just enough that it's just, I don't know, it looks vintagey, distressed. It's beautiful. Cleaning the stamps, I'm letting the ink dry. I do go over it with my hair dryer just to make sure everything's dry before I apply the transfers. If your ink is wet, it will not stick. So make sure your ink is completely dry. I will link all these transfers because I do need to look these up. I do believe the ones I'm using on this little piece is Collage de Fleur, I believe. I have scraps just kind of sitting in my box, and I pulled a couple of, oh, actually all of these, I believe today were scraps that were in my box here. I am going to do what I usually do. You peel off the backer, you apply this where you want, you use that little tool to rub it down, and you see me kind of go over all of it, and then the edges, pick a corner, start peeling off. Look at. I'm going to rub this in just to make sure it's completely rubbed down and no air bubbles. I'm going to flip it over and add one more. Oh, I'm showing you that I'm going to distress it. I'm cleaning it off on my sweater. Yes, I just did that. I think there was pink paint on it, so I wanted to make sure it didn't have it on there. So I'm just going to go over this lightly to distress the transfer. And yes, you can distress them, you guys. It just gives it just enough little wear on there that it looks like it's been on there forever. And it's not just newly applied. And for this one, I wanted... I can't find my scissors, y'all. One of my kids took them. I actually have them back now, but I was using my window blade to cut off the edge. But it worked. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this one. And again, rub all the way around it, and then pick a corner and peel back and get going. And then I will distress this one. And then we will top coat all 3 items with our big top. I just think this turned out so pretty. This will probably just be a shelf sitter, bowl sitter type situation. I'm working on a few other things, and I'll try to get, once I have it styled up, I'll try to get you guys some pictures of how I styled it, because I didn't really do a great job in my final pictures, but you do get an idea of what it looks like, and it's so pretty. It's just a unique little piece that just gives it a beautiful pop of color in like a bowl. I envision this in a basket with some other items, and that's where I'm going with that one. So this little round one, I am using, I believe I was going to do the one with the orange, and then I was like, no. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I still have all these roses. So I went ahead and picked out some leaves and roses. And did I use a stem? I don't even remember now. But I went, yes, in with my blade. Anyways. I go ahead and cut out what I would like to use, and then I get them kind of laid out. And remember, you can layer these, so they don't have to be exactly what you what they're on the sheet, because obviously this one I want to say is from Painterly Floral, and you're just getting the rose heads, and then you're getting leaves, and then you're getting stems, so you can just kind of do them all on your own. Now when I'm applying this one, I'm trying to make sure that I'm applying it directly to the painted areas and not overflowing onto the wood, because I want to make this look like it again was on here for forever. And I'm going to distress this one too. And there we are, burnishing in those leaves. Really, really important when you're layering that you burnish really, really well. And then I'm going to take the littler rose and apply that down. And you'll notice when I apply the second rose, I'm trying to make sure that the brighter side of them are kind of lined up in the same way, so that one isn't on top and one is on the bottom, because that's like where the light is hitting it, and you don't want to have them be like opposite, because then it's going to look a little bit weird. So I lined those up and then applied that other one. So you see this top one is actually sitting on 2 other transfers. It is sitting on the other rose and the leaves. And again, we got to burnish these in. And then this last one, I was kind of like, not really sure what I was going to do with it, where I was going to put it. And I'm just cutting out a leaf over on the side here, because it does need a little bit of greenery. So I decided to put another little leaf up there. And I'm trying to avoid that little distressed area because I love how that looks. That there's just that little divot. I started using my finger. I think I ended up grabbing the stick because this is a little bit too big of a piece to do with my fingers. So. And you see me kind of situating that bright side. And then you'll watch as I'm rubbing this down, I'm not going past where the paint is. And then some of it does kind of peel off. And I just use that razor blade because it wasn't adhered. I didn't rub it down. It's just kind of laying there. And I just kind of pick it off with my fingers. You see it's kind of coming up, and it looks perfectly distressed, but it's kind of coming off as I use my fingers to lift, but I don't want it to adhere on accident. That's why I went ahead and grabbed the blade to pull up the rest of that. Yeah, it fell back down, and I just don't want it to adhere. I want it to lift up for me. There we go. And then there's one last little part. I'm just scraping off the last little bit. I'm going to take that little finger sander and go ahead and give this a quick rub on top of where my transfers are at. Now I haven't tied any ribbon or anything around this, but I do have some gorgeous, gorgeous cream colored velvet ribbon I think I'm going to tie on both of these boards. And for the rectangle board, I had some scraps. I believe, I just had it on the tip of my tongue, Fairy Tale Floral, I believe is what this one is. And this part here might be from a different one though. I can't even remember, y'all. Like I said, my scraps just kind of go in a pile, and I don't always keep them with the right cover. So I went ahead and applied this little viney piece going up the side. I wanted this just to have a little bit more visual interest than the blue piece on the bottom. So we add this one first, and then we're going to burnish that all in. And then go ahead and take the other piece and just kind of get it, I'm going to off-center it because I want, I don't know. I didn't want to put it on there right smack in the center. It just didn't look as good. So I made sure that I kind of off-centered it and then cut off that excess. And then I'll use my tool and get this all down, peel it off, burnish it in, and then we'll get these all sealed up. This one's got a lot of little details, and you'll see me going just a little bit slower over parts, just to make sure I'm getting them all to lay down. Woohoo! Oh, this turned out so pretty. We're going to give this a quick distress with that finger sander. I can't wait to hear which of these 3 items is your favorite. They're just so stinking pretty. I'm trying not to distress the lettering underneath this. It doesn't matter if it does because it just adds to it, but it's already, you know, nice and light colored, and I don't know, the layering on these I think just really, really enhances their beauty. And I cannot wait to get these all styled up for you guys. You ready for the final results? I'm excited to share. We're going to do those little jars first. Look at them. And there's the basket they go in. Yeah, and the boards. A little bit close up of that distressed, beautiful yumminess. And are you ready to see them all together? Look. How pretty are those? What did you think of today's video? I love crinoline. It's just so soft and so pretty, and all the colors go with it, especially those pastels. It just really looks gorgeous. I'd love to hear what your favorite item was that I finished today. Please subscribe, hit that little button down there. It doesn't cost a thing, but it really does help out small businesses like mine, as well as that little thumbs up, and leave a comment. And we will see you all next time. Bye.